Okay, so I am here with Darth Nash 6. I will fellow Yugi tuber, I guess that's what we're called, right? Even though I don't really upload much anymore. Anyway, so we're here with like a Sprite deck, and we're just gonna be talking about the changes we're gonna make um, to the Sprite deck going forward with the Ishizu cards coming out. And if I'm correct, I think YCS is it somewhere in California. Well, do you know where it is?
YCS Pasadena
Pasadena,
in
Pasadena.
like this week. So this Saturday,
Yes, the sad.
as of filming, in a couple days from now.
Yes, yes. Okay. So here we have just a standard, I guess my standard spray deck. I guess we're just going to go through it and see what changes we would make to it. If I was entering
hmm
Pasadena, which I'm not, it's sold out, right?
Yeah, me neither. I wasn't able to get a flight in time, so
Uh,
I'm not going to be able to. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we're going to start off with just the 3 ash. I feel like 3 ash is pretty just common standard, would you say?
hmm
Yeah.
Because from correct me if I'm wrong, but do the Ishizu cards mill for cost, or is that just part of their effect?
I think it's just part of their effect. I could be wrong. I don't know what the cards are called. I'm googling. Looking up Ishizu is probably isn't gonna help. I don't remember what the cards are called.
Yeah. So if it's part of their effect, then Ash Blossom right then and there becomes one of the best hand traps because it stops at least one of their effects from going through. Unfortunately, Ash is a hard once per turn, so you can't keep on doing it on them. But Ash Blossom takes care of at least one for the turn.
Well, I mean, if it is for cost, then they would be just milling anyway. You can't ash it, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
be that good. If
yeah.
you just give me a minute, I can
It's
look
either
that up.
good or it's just as good as ashing Dante.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And then next, I guess we can just talk about the buy still monsters. I feel like these just become. I mean, if they're not already mandatory, they're just pretty mandatory right now after the Ishizu stuff.
Yeah, just to get the tears out of the grave, to chain block them from their effects going off to, do all their fusion summoning. Um, Same with Fenrir, just to banish material face down.
Yes.
They're all really good additions into really any deck, not just Sprite, but any deck in general, into this coming like tier zero format that we're on the cusp of.
Yeah. Also with the buy still monsters, even if you're not playing tier, you can banish like a blue or a jet to special summon it, and it just puts bodies on board.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and then we don't really need to talk about the nimble stuff, right? I just like the two angler.
hmm
Just
It's standard, the two angler triple beaver. With sprint, it turns honestly any one of the cards into full sprite combo.
yes, it does. And then so I guess we can just skip all of that. I like playing three swap frog just because if you open up a nimble angler, you can discard it and special
hmm
summon a swap frog. And
And then that triggers nibble angler.
it does. And then if you have like two beavers in hand, this just becomes an extender. Um,
hmm
so yeah, and then the called by the grave is just pretty standard stuff. All this is
Yeah.
pretty standard. I feel like triple tactic talent though is going to be a lot better coming into this next format.
Yeah, going forward, tactics is definitely something that should be in the main deck
Mm-hmm.
because you know that with the tier and the Ishizus, your opponent is always going to be activating something on your turn. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have to worry about waiting for your opponent to activate a hand trap. They're just going to be activating their effects. So it's probably one of the better non-quick play spell cards that we have at our disposal right now. If you want to use it as Pot of Greed or getting information about your opponent's hand.
Yeah, like if you open up, if you have like you didn't open up full combo, you can draw. And I know the new tier element Ishizu deck is playing at the moment Herald of the Orange Light, so that's just another hand trap
hmm
that they're playing. And then the
Yep.
three Imperm can stop Kit Kalos, and it's just
hmm
another hand trap. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like the main deck is okay. You could make an argument of like switching like Ash or something for a Dimension Shifter in the main, but uh,
Yeah.
that does stop the swap frog plays. So
hmm So maybe like swap the swap frogs out with D shifter and then sort of figure it out from there.
You could, yeah, because like you could end on like what is it, Sprint, Elf, uh, maybe like a Gin Buster or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you can't really do that you if you resolve Dimension Shifter, you can't reborn anything off of Elf. So just
Yeah.
yeah. And then I guess we can talk just about the side deck. So like the Dimension
Hmm.
Shifters, you can put in the main for sure.
Yeah.
The Red
Red
Resonator,
Resonator for time.
but because it's a tuner.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. Change of Heart. I feel like this can be kind of be put with like the Eradicator. These can definitely become Sanctum and Scythe now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because Eradicator really doesn't do too much against tier. So
Yeah. I really do like the whole change of heart because a lot of decks will go into Sprite Elf just because of how generic it is. So
yeah,
being able to just drop a change of heart on that is really nice. It's a very underrated card um in this format right now, and I'm constantly surprised that more people aren't playing it. When I was running it at Niagara Falls, every time I sided it in and saw it in my hand, I ended up winning, just because nobody is prepared for it.
yeah. I really like the card too. Yeah, I feel like it's the most cuttable card though, in your side
Yeah.
deck. Um, Also, the three Dark Rulers are going to be pretty good against tier two because they're just putting up these negates, right?
Hmm.
And then I guess the Cosmics are good against the traps also. So,
Yeah.
and then I like the one Sprite double cross. This helps you play if
Hmm.
you like have to dimension shifter yourself.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
if you don't, you can also reborn Toad. So that's like three negates right there, and that's pretty damn good. And I feel like we don't need
Yeah.
to talk about the extra deck. I did.
The extra deck's pretty solved.
Yeah. You can play Mannequin Cat just so you can like summon a. Even if you like get ashed, you can go Mannequin Cat and special summon like a Sprite Carrot or something and help you extend, or a red or a dark monster. You can summon blue or jet. So
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
also goes with the two turtle and the Dimension Shifter or Dimension Fortress weapon. But I guess we'll talk about those in a second.
Yeah.
So I guess we can just go through the bottom row here. So I already talked about kind of the Artifact, Scythe, and Sanctum going into the side deck right now over the Eradicator.
Hmm.
And then the Neko Mane King, I feel like isn't good in like pure Sprite, but you said it was pretty good in Tri Brigade Sprite, so you can go ahead and touch on that if you want.
Yeah, so I'm a hardcore advocate for the Tri Brigade Sprite deck. Just because of all the different ways that you can play it. The deck isn't fully solved yet, like Nimble Sprite is, or other variations, Live Twin Sprite, Bisted Sprite, all that kind of stuff. But Neko Mane King, because it is a beast, if you've got the space for it in your deck, I'm all for running three in the main deck, just so that there's more of a chance of it getting milled to stop your opponent. And also, the moment it hits the grave, you've got more resources for your Tri Brigade cards specifically in the grave. So, Neko Mane King should 100% be a main deck card moving forward in Tri Brigade Sprite. Just because of how well it synergizes with the deck over any other variation of Sprite. And even any kind of variation of Tri Brigade that's being played. If you're a Tri Brigade player in this upcoming format, Neko Mane King has to be in the main, not in the side. It's 100% got to be a main deck card.
Yeah, if you're going to a bigger event, I agree. It should be in the main. Maybe side if you're just
Hmm.
going to locals, but yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Next, we can talk about this turtle. I really like this card. I think it's funny. You summon this
I
off
like
of.
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I like that not only can you summon it off of Mannequin Cat, but you can
Mm-hmm.
also summon it off of one for one.
You can,
Because
yeah.
it's just a stupid little level one aqua. I love it. It's so cute. Him
It
sitting up there on that pillar.
it is. You can also play Dimension Fortress weapon because all of the tiers are darks. I don't know which one
Hmm.
would be better because with the Dimension Fortress weapon, if you summon this, they can't activate any of the Ishizu cards. But they
Hmm.
can under this. But
Yeah.
I don't know which one would be better at the moment. Actually,
Hmm.
it's really a
The
toss
thing
up.
with the thing with Tetsudo is that Rhino Heart can get around it as well because Rhino Heart has less than 1800 attack, so you can
Mm-hmm.
trigger him off of it. Whereas the Dimension Fortress, Machina, whatever it is,
Yeah.
shuts down everything for Ishizu Tier. They can't activate any of their effects.
Mm-hmm.
It's also 1700. It's a pretty big body. Like, yes, it'll use your normal summon if it's in your hand, or just off of Mannequin Cat, but seeing it in your hand, if you've got that and Sprite Starter,
Yeah.
normal summon that and you know you're safe.
Even like a swap frog with a water type, which probably is a little more like not like less likely to happen. But yeah,
Yeah.
that is very true. I guess we can talk about Ibly next. It's kind of like the same thing as these two, except you summon this off of a gigantic sprite.
Hmm.
But
And then go into Elf. Yeah.
yeah, you go into Elf. But I don't think it's that great in like pure nimble sprite, just because you want to be making totally awesome. But I feel like maybe in like Runic Sprite, this can be really good because you don't usually play Swap Frog in the Toad Engine and Runic Sprite.
Yeah. The only issue I see specifically with Ibly is that Ishizu tier decks are going to be playing cards like Dark and Sprite Elf, and so they'll be able to get it. It'll be a minor inconvenience for them as opposed to just shutting them off like a Dimension Fortress weapon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Ibly in Master Rule 5 is strong, but not as strong as it was in Master Rule 4. And so I've
Yeah.
personally kind of been turned off to Ibly. So it's like, oh, okay, I'll just do something else with it.
Right. Like I feel like it's good, but you'd have to side deck it. You definitely wouldn't main deck it just because if you're playing like the Sprite Mirror, they're just gonna link it off, like you said. So
It- yeah, yeah.
if they're playing like pure Shizu tier, I don't think they're playing any like link monsters, right? Just fusions.
I know that some decks do play Sprite Elf.
Mm,
Um, just because, is it Havness? That's the level 2?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
They're
And so
probably
they'll
they're probably also playing Sprint also then, huh?
yeah.
Oh no, Havness is 3. It's Merly, that's 2.
It's Merly. Yeah, Merly. That's
Okay, yeah. So I don't know about Ibly right now, so yeah, I probably wouldn't play that. I guess we can talk about Ghost Reaper next. It's really good in like mirror matches if you're playing tier. I don't know,
Mhm.
or if you're playing like tier Sprite, but in the pure Sprite deck, you're just kind of wasting an extra deck spot for it. I don't know how.
Yeah. Like, unless you have the room for any of the tier fusions,
Yeah.
you gotta hope that they're playing Elf or Sprint in their extra deck,
Mm-hmm.
in the tier Ishizu deck, or else it's just kind of a waste. That would definitely be a side deck card, but a side deck card that you're confident about going to a larger event. If you've like done your research and you're very aware of how people are building their Ishizu tier decks,
Yeah.
and you know that the cards in your extra deck like are shared amongst all of these deck profiles going forward, then absolutely it's a fantastic call. Really, yeah, it's definitely more of a mirror match instead of for the Nimble Sprite deck.
Yeah. Also, like hitting Sprint off of this and like against a tier deck, I feel like is just a minor inconvenience. It's probably not going to stop them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's not like you're in 2017 and you just used this on Zodiac Dryden.
right, yeah,
It's yeah.
yeah. So like, I guess we can talk about Raigeki next. I don't think they put up a spell and trap negate, right?
Not to my knowledge, but
Yeah.
don't take that as gospel because I could be very wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't, but I could be wrong also. This is also good against flu, but we're not talking about flu. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. I think Raigeki's kind of a funny card. If you have a bad matchup against flu, I guess you could put it into, and it wouldn't be the worst thing to side. And then we have Earth Shattering Event. You told me that they can just chain block this, right?
Yeah, so if you activate Earth Shattering Event and they start doing tier cards, they can just chain all of their tiers in a way so that all of their cards are going to resolve before Earth Shattering Event will resolve. So they'll still get all of their effects off
Mm-hmm.
before the floodgate of Earth Shattering Event is like in effect. I learned that from some people in the comment section of my the Naturia Vernisylph deck profile that I
Okay.
got from Minneapolis. A few people were like, Earth Shattering Event was really good in theory, but in practice, it's not as good as everybody was hoping.
Okay.
Just because of how reactive all the tier cards are. It's like, oh no, chain.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this, but I have seen a few, so I just thought I'd mention it. Um,
Yeah,
Different dimension ground. I really like this because you can kind of pair it with a trap trick also. Um,
yeah. I'm a really big fan of this card.
mm-hmm.
The only thing is you got to really hope that they don't have any tier cards in their hand to be able to go off, um, turn zero.
Yeah.
But for the late game, or if you win the die roll, or going into game two or game three, um, I think it's great. I definitely think it'll hinder if you get it off before they're able to start activating their effects, then you're set.
Yeah.
Like you won.
Yeah. I feel like you can play this over like Dimension Shifter if your deck can't play through Dimension Shifter. So
Yeah, and I really like that with Trap Trick, you're just adding more copies of it.
you are, yeah. So you could play like two different Dimension Ground in the one Trap Trick. That's why I'm playing the two Eradicator in one Trap Trick. Because if I open up
Yeah.
Eradicator and a Trap Trick, I can use the Trap Trick to set an Imperm at least. So it's not just like a dead
Hmm.
card. It's not like the
Yeah.
best thing. Um, and then I guess we can just talk
It,
about the two next the next two cards, the Lava Golem and then the Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere mode.
the Ultra Kaijus.
Yeah, I feel like these are pretty good against tier. You just have to be playing like Runic Sprite or a deck without a normal summon, I guess.
Yeah.
So you couldn't play this in like Tri Brigade Sprite, right?
No, no.
Yeah, if you're playing this in like normal Sprite, you have to open up Starter or like a Frog. So I feel like this is just for Runic Sprite, basically.
Yeah. Like we were seeing with like Cody Angelov's deck at
Mm.
YCS Minneapolis, how he was running Sphere mode.
Yeah,
Um
and then I know Joshua Schmidt was playing Lava Golem in his Runic Sprite deck in YCS. I don't remember which YCS.
Utrecht?
Utrecht? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would play Raw Sphere mode over Lava Golem now, just because if we're going to be seeing a lot of tier, they're probably going to be putting up more than three monsters.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. The Lava Golem burn damage is kind of funny in time though, but I don't think that'll ever come up.
Yeah. It's like that's why you're running Red Resonator
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um and then as for kind of going back to the Trap Trick and different dimension ground,
Yes.
you can also run Dimensional Barrier.
You could, yeah.
Um,
That would be really good too.
yeah, to just call fusions.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that card. Yeah, so you could run like two different dimension ground, dimension barrier, and then just one trap trick.
Hmm.
You definitely could do that. Yeah, we should probably here, let's pull up dimensional barrier. Oh, there's a lot of dimensional cards, huh?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so dimensional barrier uh, is going to be pretty good going first. I feel like it's even
Hmm.
a little more versatile than different dimension ground because if you're playing a different deck, you can call like an Xyz or Pendulum, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could
So I.
probably get away playing with like two of each of these and then Trap Trick for sure.
100%.
And then what were you gonna say?
I don't remember, but I really like, I haven't given it as much thought as I would like to admit, but I think going forward my side deck is going to be debarrier ground with some trap tricks. Um,
The different dimension ground.
Also,
yeah.
yeah. And also what's good is that for the Tri-Brigade Sprite version, you can also run Harpy's Featherstorm.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. Yeah. Because you played that in
so
Flu too, right?
yeah.
I guess it's like the.
So when I was playing Adventure Tri-Brigade Griffin Rider, if you want to put a small adventure package in,
Mm-hmm.
Harpy's Featherstorm works with Griffin Rider helps fulfill the cost.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Because I know you can play like Adventure Sprite too, but I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, so that'd be like if you're running like a trap trick package on
Yeah.
your side.
Yeah. Yeah, you can play this in the Tri Brigade version for sure. That'd be pretty good. Okay.
You just got to make sure that you leave Harpy, the Harpy link. Like if you leave that on the field,
it should be just right here, right? Conductor.
there we go. Yeah, Harpy Conductor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this just shuts down their turn, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just negate any monster effects.
I feel like a lot of these cards kind of have a lot in common, where it's just stopping your opponent from playing.
Yeah,
Just
which
floodgates.
Unfortunately, that's Yu-Gi-Oh now.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then
Yeah.
a lot of these cards also don't lose to like back row removal, just because like all the traps here can be chained, and then you just have monsters that are floodgates. But I mean, I guess people could start playing like main decking Dark Ruler no more to stop this, or Forbidden Droplet also. Okay, well, I don't think I have that much more to discuss. Do you have anything else to add, I guess, before we end this call?
Other than play Tri-Brigade Sprite, that's the best way to play it. No.
I mean, maybe. I guess we'll have to see what happens in YCS Pasadena.
Yeah. Well, we already know Ishizu Tier 1. It got all top 32 spots. It was impressive. I'm a fortune teller.
Just like that Pepe format. I think it was like 31 Pepe and then 1 Cosmo.
Yeah, or Zodiac. I'm pretty sure it was like a YCS Pasadena that like Zodiac got all top 32 slots.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably going to happen. It's probably going to be like 31 Ishizu Tier and 1 Flu.
Yeah. Or Math Mech.
Math Mech. All right, well, all right, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on here.
I will definitely shout out your channel. I'll have it in the comments, or not the comments, the description, I guess. You can look it up on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Also. It's Darth Nash 6. Is that right? I don't want to mess that up.
Yep. Darth Nash 6. And everybody make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on Cup of Noodles. We got to get this guy to 1,000 subs.
I'm at like...
We got to get him to 1,000 subs.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thank you.